Welcome to the channel, and this is one of a series of videos where we are trying to learn Microsoft Graph, and we'll be using JavaScript uh, in terms of implementing and using the Graph API. Honestly, Microsoft has a lot of resources and documentation out there, but again, it could be quite confusing. And this this series is us navigating it together and trying to um, and try to get started working with the API. Um, so this is um, a document that I found from Microsoft talking about best practices um, in terms of working with Graph. And what they say here is that um, you could basically, these practices obviously help in um, getting the most out of Microsoft Graph, and not only helps in terms of learning it, also improving performance and user reliability. Um, so let's just briefly go through the best practices and see if we can gain something from it, right? So we're starting from ground zero or ground level and trying to build up from there. Um, so um, all right, so let's go through this. Okay, so use Graph Explorer to get to know the API. So what I say here is that you could use the Graph Explorer, and we'll go through that in a moment. So Graph Explorer lets you craft REST requests with full CRUD support. So um, and adapt the HTTP headers and see the data responses. To uh, to help you get started, Graph Explorer also provides a set of example or sample queries. Experiment with new APIs before you integrate them to your application. So this might be a way to get started. Um, and let's look at this for a moment. Okay. All right. So we have here on top you can say get, post, put, patch, delete. Um, so we have 5 different operations and version 1. So I think it's always good to use version 1 because beta is new releases and new features which may not be, which might change. And and we have the URL here. So okay, and you might not be able to see this. So there's something on the left, and it shows you um, different um, possible queries that you could use, like getting a profile, um, getting a photo, getting a meal. Um, so I will link the document in the channel description, and you can go through it from there. Um, so that's that's what I suggest in terms of going through the Graph API. I mean, getting started, right? Because think about it. So, if you have no experience in learning Graph, right? So, and you would get confused with, um, you know, getting it set up, right, in your system, your local system, importing modules and authentication, authorization, tokens. So that is obviously something that we need to know about. But before that, we need to know how the API works, right? How are the requests? Um, I mean, what is the request that we're getting? What kind of JSON response we're getting? Um, so so I think it's best if we start off with using the Graph Explorer, spend some time on it, and then work our way through setting up. Uh, setting up a project, right? Importing the modules. So we'll try to go through it step by step, and um, build it up, right? Um, so in the next video, we will be going through the Graph Explorer. Okay, so until then, see you next time.